Hey folks, it is the coldest day that it has been by far this year for me coming out here. Minus 34. My hands are pretty cold now. I've had them out a little bit doing some shooting and stuff. Okay, so what am I doing today? I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna use my saw properly. Thanks to you guys, I now know how to use the saw properly. What else am I gonna do today? I'm going to change the spark arrestor on my tent. I have to do that. I'm going to chop some wood. I'm going to have a nice hot fire. I'm going to have a cup of coffee. And I think that's it. Oh yeah, I have a mustache now. Oh yeah. I don't think there's been anybody here. It looks like the old skidoo tracks. And human traffic is mine. And that was 2 weeks ago. It's really cold. My fingers are freezing right now. This hand is really cold. That looks good. This is what I got from the tent shop from the States. Same place that made my tent. The tent shop. You can see the logo down here. So the issue is, if you guys watched some of my episodes last year, you know that this spark arrestor that they sent me originally with the tent was a piece of junk. It almost smoked me out one night. There's this other guy on YouTube called the Shell Family, and he's a little bit upset with his tent, and he's upset with the spark arrestor as well. And he's in a bit of a battle now with the tent shop about the product that he received. I decided I'd chime in on the conversation because the guy who made that video, Shell Family is the name of the YouTube channel, reached out to me after he saw some of my videos and said, hey look, I'm really dissatisfied with my product, and I watched this video and he had some real legitimate concerns. And of course one of the big concerns was his spark arrestor. He goes on talking about how you know, he could have choked out one night and he had to clean it out 2 or 3 times in the run of a night. As you know, like I said earlier, same problem with me last year. So I just made a comment on his video. I watched it and made a comment. And I made a comment because the tent shop decided it would get involved in the conversation and said, hey, look, you know, we understand your problems, but here's our side of the story. So I jumped in and I said, hey, maybe you should watch some of my videos because, you know, this guy's got a point. Spark arrestor's really bad. I had to completely change mine out. So the tent shop sent me this. And it still has, you know, all these little, this great thing going on here. Let's see if it is great. And so I'm going to test it out. And I have my doubts because it's just so cold here. I just feel like this stuff is going to clog up anyway. And what I have on top of my tent now is just like, is just gaping wide open. There's no chance that it's going to clog. But I'm going to give it a shot and see how it goes. That's the first order of business today. Change that up. Folks, I'm telling you right now, it is freezing in here. By far the coldest it's been. Even colder than that night when I almost froze to death. I had a little bit of heat coming from the stove. Right now I have no heat, so pressure's on. I got to get this thing changed. With how cold it is outside, I hope this thing comes off easily. And yeah, there we go. Okay. So, as you can see, it's wide open. There's no chance there's going to be any clogging. A little bit of creosote, but nothing too major. And this guy looks like it goes on the inside. Interesting. He's not going to go anywhere. Okay, let's see what happens. I don't care what anyone says, Fiskars axes are awesome. They are sharp, and ask anybody who uses one, they work very, very well. I will only use Fiskars from here on out. It's worth the money, even though they're cheap compared to some of these classic wood-handled ones. I don't even know the brand names. All I know is that this guy works. So the number one tip I learned last week was if you're going to saw, you got to have your saw on the side that's going to fall off. I know there's proper terminology for that. I don't know what it is. I was putting my junk of wood underneath here and cutting here, and then the wood was binding together and slowing down my saw. Ideally I'd have someone holding the end, or I'd have a horse or something. I don't have that. I'm cutting on the ground. But I am going to use this piece of wood here that's on the ground, this log, and I'm going to saw on this side of the log, and hopefully then the wood just falls away and I'm not always binding up. There it goes. Zero binding. You guys are smart. Ten times faster. As you can see, folks, I only got a small box of wood out of that. But that should keep me going for the rest of the afternoon. It's about time for some soup, some coffee. This is dedicated to my buddy Chris. Check out our cabin video. Awesome cabin trip at his cabin. Spent a lot of time at his cabin. Spent a lot of time eating spicy soup while we were there. Let's see. Oh, baby. This is gonna burn my mouth off. If you hear me slurping and slopping and saying, it's because it's too hot. I only ever say when things are too hot. Yeah, it's good. Okay, a little cup of coffee here, and I'm going to sharpen some knives. Haven't sharpened my knives since I got them. Had them for over a year. Some of them I've had for 5 or 6 years, and they just don't get regularly sharpened. A little bit of coffee here. Out of the way. Have a muffin. And sharpen my knives. Brownie. Not a muffin, a brownie. Sorry. Mmm. So, this kit I got from my mother. It's a Lansky kit. I've used it a couple of times, and it has instructions in it. It's pretty cool. It's got some oil. You can see that right there. And it's got two little knife holders. Clamp them together. You've got your sharpening stones. I've got 3 here. You can get 5. I got 3. And yeah, it's been a while. Let's see if we can figure it out. Oh yeah, fire needs some love. I wish we had birch, like a lot of birch around here. Let's see what happens with that guy. This is a Woods cast iron pan. Woods Canada. It's a $30 cast iron pan. So it's not going to be the best cast iron pan. I got it because I'm getting into cast iron now. I have a nice Lagostina at home. It's a $105 cast iron pan, and I've been seasoning that thing for the last month or so. And I can fry eggs on that thing like it's Teflon. I mean, it is unbelievable. I got it on sale. Didn't spend $105 on a cast iron pan. Looking for deals. So I got a deal on this one just because it's cheap. So, not really on sale, but it's a cheap pan. I'm going to do a little bit of cast iron cooking right now. It's not seasoned fully. I fried eggs on it yesterday, stuck a little bit. I did a little bit of seasoning myself. So let's see how it works. I'm going to cook some French bread, some cheese, and some salami in this. I'll probably melt the cheese on top of the French bread and just fry it right in the pan. And it's a recipe inspired by a YouTube channel called TA Outdoors, a guy over in the UK. I watched quite a few of his videos. He's pretty awesome. Seems like a pretty cool guy. And he did sausage on like a crusty bread and butter, and I thought, oh man, that looks so delicious. And then yesterday when I was trying to think of what I would cook while I was here today, I said, you know what, I'm just going to rip that guy off, but I'm going to do salami instead, and extra old cheddar cheese, and hopefully it doesn't stick to this pan. So I'm going to use a little bit of margarine on this. I'm keeping it on the front of this stove. Is just like ripping hot. It is deadly hot right now. And if I put it in the back, the pan's just going to get too hot to cook. In fact, I'm concerned it might be just too hot even up at the front here. Anyway, a little bit of margarine, because just for the ease of bringing it, I brought margarine today. I'm going to fry some bread, melt some cheese. I'm going to fry some salami. Maybe I'll do the salami first. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's going to be hard to control this. Very, very hot. I'm going to put a little bit of extra butter in there, margarine, because it's just not properly seasoned yet. I'm going to fry the salami. Oh, that's good. It's actually not too hot. If I was an animal in this neighborhood, oh my God. Yeah, this stove is just beautiful right now. Look at that. That is perfect. No sticking right here. That might be excessive amount of butter for my bread. Might regret that. So, I'm gonna do this for now. Yeah, he's a bit hot. Whoo-wee! Gotta take him off. This knife is just so sharp. Oh, those are still really hot. So was that pan. Okay. So while I wait for that meal to cook a little bit, just to crisp up on the bottom, and hopefully the cheese will melt a little bit there, I'm gonna have a beer. And I watch a lot of YouTube, especially these types of videos, and I'm sure a lot of people who watch this channel watch a lot of those other channels that are similar to this. One of them, as I mentioned earlier before, is TA Outdoors. Another one is Joe Robinette. I mean, that guy's got like 500,000 subscribers. I've got about 1,200, so I've got a ways to go. But what they normally do is they open craft beer, and then they talk about how delicious the craft beer is. And I'm not a craft beer guy, but what I do have today is the world's most delicious beer. Labatt Blue. You know, craft beers, they normally have like some sort of description of the beer, where it came from, what it tastes like. This one, in detail, says quality brewing since 1847. So you know it's got to be good. Anyway, I like a dirty old homemade beer. This is Canadian. I believe a Belgian company has taken over now, but John Labatt, Canadian guy, came up with Labatt Blue. And look at that. Oh, baby. Mmm. Yeah, just as I thought. Plain beer. And sometimes that's just what a guy needs. Or a gal. Some plain beer. Oh, that's delicious. So check it out. So can you see that? Oh! Crisping a little bit. Melty gooiness. And I'm using a plastic fork today because I don't have a proper fork. Okay, this stuff is perfect. Coming off. Crispy, crispy on the bottom. Well, fun day, really good day. Accomplished a lot, got a lot of wood cut up. And I just had a good time. I relaxed, got to make a video. This is like the funnest hobby I have right now. The whole thing, you know, making the video and getting out and being busy, it's just so good for the mind to come out. I find it very therapeutic, and I feel good for like a week after whenever I have one of these trips. And it's not over because I got to go home and I got to edit this now, so I get to relive it again. I'm going to eat some of this and check out the bottom right there. Oh, crispy, eh? Nice, let's see. Mmm. Labatt Blue. Going to Whitehorse next week, and I'm really hoping to do a video out there. Hoping to get to visit a tent. That's the plan. And I got a friend out there. His name is Steve. A real outdoorsman. So hopefully we connect, make a video. Maybe I'll just follow that guy around and I'll be in it from time to time. It should be fun though. Really excited about that. Yeah, so I'm going to be on pause in this location for a little while, but hopefully the videos just keep on coming. Thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it.